but it looks like Tideway Scullers maybe with the
I
slight
think
advantage.
Tideway Scullers. It's always wise to wait for that first drone shot, isn't it? Half a length to start. I think we can say half a length to Tideway Scullers. They've moved out well. They've moved out confidently. Both crews, you can see the line down there. They've stayed well apart. They've got out to half a length, but I'd say they're not moving out hugely each stroke. Just getting a rate on them there because they're still up at 38. But the Thames Rowing Club, Thames Rowing Club crew. This is the Thames Rowing Club A crew, and yeah, Tideway Scullers crew. They moved out now to 3/4 of a length, but it's slow progress. I mean, you might expect that in an 8 with 2 good 8s here. Thames Rowing Club not letting them get away. Tideway Scullers got the cleaner start, but they've settled pretty high, still 37-38. They've not been able to get into a really, really long rhythm yet. They look good though, that Tideway Scullers crew coming past. They look like, now I can see them side on, they look like they've got more in the water. They've not got a huge amount of control at the slide. They're still really pushing the rate, but they are definitely getting hold of some water there and pushing it down. Just giving them inches per stroke on that Thames crew.
Because it's a battle of attrition, isn't it? And realistically, inches per stroke at this stage is all you really need. With every stroke, you are taking that little chunk out of your opposition, and I think there, the drone shots show that just about a length to Tideway Scullers, so that has worked so far for them.
So Tideway Scullers, 34-35 compared to Thames Rowing Club 33-34. So the Tideway Scullers crew have got a bit more through the water. They're able to punch it through and keep that rate a bit higher. So back up to the start now for the next heat. Between on the left of your picture, the red hats, the nice red hats there of Kingston Rowing Club A, and on the right-hand side, Nottingham Rowing Club. So another heat of the intermediate Club 8s for the Invesco Perpetual Challenge Cup.
Kingston.
Both, yeah.
They've got slightly better the 2 starts. As I was watching the front-on shot there, I think Kingston had slightly more aggressive, more tenacious at the 2 starts. I think that has paid dividends because it looks like their bow girl certainly closer to the camera than the bow girl of the Nottingham crew. I think actually by quite a substantial margin at this stage. I could be completely cursing this, and I no doubt I probably am when the drone shots give us a bit more insight. But there, as you watch the 2 crews, it does look like Kingston are in the lead in this opening exchange, and that is so important on the Henley course. You know, match racing, it's so crucial to get out to a good start.
You can't tell a huge amount from these head-on shots, but what you can really get a feel for is the rhythm. And if I looked at those crews, I would have said that the left-hand crew were rating higher, but actually both crews passing the end of the island were at 38. It was just that Kingston Rowing Club had managed to get a better rhythm and a better length within that, so it looked more relaxed. So they were at the same rate, Kingston and Nottingham, but Kingston able to do more of that per stroke, and they've got themselves out to a length lead already on this course.
That would suggest to me that they're more powerful. You know, if they're rating the same, there's more going through the water from Kingston.
Well, more powerful, and also just got they're able to get more powerful. So it means that they can push the blades through the water quicker and give themselves more time coming back up the slide.
Nottingham have moved right over, haven't they, to try and minimise the advantage that Kingston are having. But just there, as the stern tickles the Nottingham bow, it looks like Kingston are straining to get some clear water and remove themselves from even the peripheral vision of the Nottingham athletes. And I can't accentuate enough how wonderful that drone shot is. It is so useful for us as commentators. We only get to see them come past us very fleetingly, and after that we rely almost solely on the camera angles, and the drone is such a useful tool to tell us the margins and indeed the narrative of the race. And if you look up on the right hand side of your screen there, the top right hand picture, it's Tideway Scullers, who were indeed victorious in the last heat of the Club Intermediate 8s. So focusing on this one, Alison, it does look like Kingston still in control of this race. They haven't moved out a great deal since pretty much the barrier, actually. They're still just about a length ahead of their opponents from Nottingham.
Still going on at a pretty cracking rate there, aren't they? Just going to get a bit of a mark on that. I left my rate watch at home, but somebody, if you're interested, I'm going to be passable now, but somebody actually gave me info. I've actually got an app on my phone, a stroke coach app on my phone now.
Living the dream.
Yeah, I know, which is which saved me a bit. I only use my stroke coach once, twice a year, my rate watch once, twice a year when I come and do commentary, and I left it. I've been away a week working, left it at home. But so the Kingston have dropped it down now to about 33. It looks a little bit more than that, so they're not that relaxed. We'll see how far they progress in this competition, but I think they will get through that one. Next up, we have an interesting race because we have Agecroft Rowing Club back. We'll talk about Agecroft a little bit more in a moment, but on the left hand of your picture, we have the red caps of Agecroft Rowing Club, and on the right, York City Rowing Club. And Agecroft out to an absolutely cracking start there. They've really gone out and established a good lead. They've got themselves a lead by the end of the island, trying to make sure of that.
Looks like a pretty evenly matched actually as they come out from the shadows of Temple Island. And that's what we like to see actually here at Henley Women's Regatta.
Just snuck ahead, haven't they? But not much, not by much. Are they going to be able to hold on to it? So this Agecroft crew will not want to be beaten. I mean, no one wants to be beaten here. But if you were here last year, and I was actually able to commentate, I was on the launches for one or two of these epic Agecroft. A number of this crew raced in this event last year, and they were in the dead heat with Grosvenor Rowing Club last year. And they lost the re-row by a canvas. It was some of the most epic battles I've ever seen on a Henley stretch. They were so brave, they were so gutsy, and they lost out. They're back here, and that's why they went off absolutely cracking start. Completely fired up. But whether they can hold it, York City are not they're not letting. They're not letting them have it just because they were so gutsy last year, are they?
They're going to be absolutely horrified, Agecroft, to find out that they're in another barnstorm of a race.
Oh my goodness, Agecroft brings it to us again.
They must be absolute, I think the word is seriously unhappy about the fact that they're in another fantastic race.
However, we do know, with they managed to race side by side 2 races last year and never lost their head. They didn't get the right side of either of them, but they never lost it. They battled all the way through. So I would still a bit of northern grit. So Agecroft, based up near Manchester. So last year in their battles with Grosvenor, you had the added Grosvenor kind of Chester base. So they would have raced each other all year. They haven't got that spurring them on this time.
Oh, this really is a fantastic race.
They still will know each other. York City Rowing Club, they would have raced this crew. It's all on the northern circuit. When I was at Liverpool, we used to race at York, Agecroft. It's all the same. It's all the same circuit that you race on. I would be very surprised if these crews haven't raced each other and know each other sometimes to see or even personally. And so this is.
I mean, like Agecroft have stretched out a bit.
Yeah, they've,
maybe a quarter of a length now. If I was very bold, I might even stretch to half a length, but it's very, very difficult to tell. And Agecroft, as you say, they've got the experience of this side-by-side race, and they must now know what it takes really to win a race like this, and perhaps that'll help them in the final stages because they'll have the added incentive of the fact that they came so close to progressing last year.
They've had a whole year to tell those stories. And you can see, so although Agecroft haven't managed to get out, both crews are still fighting a lot, as you would expect. Side by side, they haven't been able to drop their rates. They've not been able to get down to the 33s, 34s that some other crews have. Agecroft are down now at kind of 35, 36 to the 37 of York City Rowing Club. Well, hopefully we'll be able to we can see both pictures. So we see both pictures, we can see that one and the start of the next race.
Yeah, next race in the course will be race 126, Staines Boat Club on the Berkshire station, and Nottingham and Union on the right-hand side of your picture on the Buckinghamshire station. But we will keep an eye on the Agecroft York City race developing in the top right-hand side of your screen.
So it looks like already in that second race, it looks like Staines have got up. The green blades of Staines have managed to get a bit of a lead. Agecroft still being pressed. We've got 2 exciting races on the course.
difficult to know which one to commentate on at this stage, I have
Well,
to say.
it's good to have both of them going there. I mean, we've got it's early days. Staines seeming to
I think
have a
Staines probably
slight
do have,
advantage.
the slight advantage.
We've seen as crews this morning, crews that have that slight advantage coming off the island. If they can get half a length and they're moving, that's pretty good.
It's crucial, isn't it, the start ahead?
Yeah.
It's absolutely crucial to get
That's,
out to a nice strong start and establish a psychological advantage over your opponent as much as a physiological one. But as we look at the
a bit of a shipwreck there though.
Ooh,
Just
shocker there
it's
from
all
Staines.
happening. You were just about to switch back to the Agecroft race, which is exciting. While you were looking up there, the Staines crew caught a blade, and again, so now it's all happening. They're trying to get straight, and now they've really lost. That's twice now. The Galway crew, and have stopped. We've got a stoppage there. Oh no, that's the end. Sorry, that's the end of the Agecroft race.
Oh, it's
We'll
Nottingham
wait for the
Union,
results on that one. I think Agecroft got it.
Nottingham Union have absolutely capitalised on that mistake there in the Staines boat. Not quite sure what happened. It looked like a crab in the 3-seat from where we were sat. But a disaster in the Staines boat considering they were leading that. And Nottingham Union have now stretched out to half a length, but there's plenty of the race left. It's lucky that it didn't happen slightly further down the course because that would have been race signed and sealed. But it means actually the Staines have got a bit of work to do, but they aren't doing it so far. They're almost back on terms already.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, they were slightly the faster crew anyway. They had the faster speed. They caught a bit of a crab, but it wasn't like a massive boat stopper. Sometimes the blade just gets stuck under the water a little bit, but it didn't. Whoever it was didn't completely lose their blade, and it meant they managed to get it back. They then lost it again, which did let Nottingham Union come through. But they have got the fastest boat speed, and if they're able just to relax and get back onto it, which they have been, the thing is, and here's the Cox. The Cox really shows their worth here because they're able to get the boat back straight, and they're able to get the crew.
Well. And how many crews do you see like Staines here who actually do end up crabbing and still go on to win the race? And it looks like certainly the momentum is with Staines at the moment. They've brought Nottingham Union back to around a canvas, which is mighty fine work considering that 300, 400 metres further up the course they were in dire straits.
So we've got some exciting racing going on here. We can give you the results of the previous heats of this race. This one's neck and neck in this fourth heat between Staines and Nottingham Union. The first heat was a win for Tideway Scullers over Thames Rowing Club A by 1 length in the fastest time so far, 5:05. The second heat was a win for Kingston Rowing Club A over Nottingham Rowing Club by 1.25 lengths in 5:21. Agecroft were triumphant. I can't help but say that I'm happy about that after last year. They battled through. They won that over York City Rowing Club by 1/3 of a length again in 5:13. And coming down now, and Staines were up.
Despite
they
the
lost
shipwreck.
it. They lost it again, and they've got their heads and they've come back. And, all credit to Nottingham Union for taking that on, but Staines back up. So it'll be interesting. We've got some fast times. 5:05 from that first crew out today, Tideway Scullers School.
So I think we go back down to the start. Race 127 is on the course now. Heat of the Junior 8s. And it's Headington School B on the Berkshire station. And a composite, Grange School and King's Chester on the Buckinghamshire station. Obviously Headington are a well-known name on the junior women's circuit. They were winners at the National Schools Regatta in the Junior 8 category, albeit this is their B crew. And at the moment it is showing because the composite from Grange and King's Chester are certainly having the better of the opening exchanges. They've got about half a length.
Yeah, so as you say, Headington, the current holders of the Junior 8s for the Peabody Cup, so they won it last year, and they've managed to put out 2 8s in this category, and I saw an absolutely fantastic, 2 wonderful quads out from them yesterday as well, in the juniors and in the senior quads. Huge depth, but this is their B crew, and they're not having it their own way against this Grange School King's Chester composite. So you can see the 2 colours for the Grange School and the King's Chester there in that boat. But I mean, I just love this. Here we've got juniors And it's really, really worth noting that here you've got these junior girls in the middle. A lot of them will be in the middle of their GCSE programme. They will have had exams yesterday. They'll have exams on Monday. And they're able to get their heads into this race, these side-by-side racing, this weekend. Some of them, and they won't be neglecting their revision. They'll have their books. They'll have their books with them, and they'll be revising under trees in breaks. The dedication that it takes for these junior girls and what it gives them in terms of discipline. The rowing discipline feeds their academic discipline, and they very usually succeed in both. And we see what a cracking race between these two crews. A B crew not looking like a B crew by any stretch of the imagination.
I think the fact that they're holding up this composite crew, which must have been put together with the thought of going far in this competition, the fact that a B crew from Headington, and I'm not at all surprised because the programme that Ryan Domain runs down there at Headington is it's remarkable. I mean, it just breeds success upon success upon success. And every year they produce crews of the highest quality from a pool of athletes who perhaps quite often individually aren't some of the biggest names on the circuit, but they are greater than the sum of their parts. And so it's proving here, although the Grange School King's Chester composite are leading this race, Headington B are putting in a pretty impressive showing, it has to be said, and certainly holding their own against what looks like bigger and stronger girls.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big event, this Junior 8s, but we're only going to see 2 heats today. All the other crews have got to buy through this round straight through to Saturday afternoon. There are 10 entries, so we're going to see 4 of them today. They're going to get that extra round. Looking pretty, I mean, I just the standard of these of the junior girls out there. We're back up to the start now. We got that first one. Does look as if the composite crew has pulled out to a lead and is holding it. We're back up to the start now. Another very famous girls rowing school with Lady Eleanor Hollis on the right of your picture, and UCD. And Moncton Coombe on the town side, just passing the island.
Well, Lady Eleanor Holly's under Jonathan Cheeseman, another name that certainly resonates on the junior rowing circuit. And I think at the moment it's the pedigree speaks for itself. They're already out to 3/4 a length over their opponents from Moncton, which is an impressive feat considering they haven't quite got rid of the shackles of Temple Island. And it'd be interesting to see if they can keep up this speed and maintain a level of control by the barrier.
Rating 40 still in that LEH boat.
Ticking along.
Which is quite something. When you expect higher rates in the 8, it is easier once you get the boat up and moving to keep it up there and moving. But they've got out now, just past the end of the island, and they've only got a foot overlap. Absolutely stormed that one.
Well, if you look at the technique of the two crews, it's pretty clear that Lady Eleanor Holly's are more proficient at both ends of the stroke, to be totally honest. I mean, you look at the synchronicity of their blades compared to the crew from Moncton, there is definitely a bit of a disparity between the two crews in terms of quality.
And we can see in the top of our picture, we can see the celebrations from the Grange School King's Chester composite coming through to win that one. They've gone through.
I think it'd take a brave man to bet against Lady Eleanor Holly's at this stage, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Joining them.
So they're through to Saturday afternoon. Does look as if LEH will be joining them.
Lady Eleanor Holly is now coming past our commentary tower here.
In Beryl Le Peril. They're racing in Beryl Le Peril. That's their boat.
It's a lovely Hudson USP, actually. It's this cracking boat. But certainly you look at the two crews and there's no doubt that the quality lies with the Lady Eleanor Holly's crew. That's no disrespect to Moncton in any way. It's just that Lady Eleanor Holly's are a very, very accomplished set of athletes, and they run a tight ship down there under Jonathan. And I think barring any late nautical disasters, it's going to be LEH who progress through.
Moncton there, a lot of guts in their rowing, but not the finesse of the technique. They just, they don't get the opportunity of the hours and hours of the water in the programme they've got there. It's to get up to that level at this age is quite something. It takes them a huge amount of dedication. Like I say, alongside their schoolwork, alongside their exams, and so hopefully they'll be able to go and